I'm back with my unnecessary deaths and updates on the tragedies that have been going on all over the country since I last did a video. I think it was a few days ago. Just so much stuff is happening. Some sad things involving little children that I'm going to have to get on a soapbox and spew some of my opinions on. But we're going to start out with on October 13th in North Carolina in Charlotte, a single mother was unalived in a shooting. The woman was shot in a parking garage at the Hazel and South Park. I think those are the streets in Charlotte, North Carolina. It was on Monday morning on October 13th. It was one woman, unknown age. I don't know how old she was. Another DV shooting in Plain Township, Ohio, in Stark County. One man has died and a woman is injured in the afternoon at an apartment building at 4107 Orchard Drive. He shot his partner, that's the woman that died, then he turned the gun on himself. In Torrington, Connecticut, there was a house fire on October 15th, 2025. A woman died on Wednesday at 8:15 in the morning. Her name was Michelle Cullen, 52-year-old woman. This is another crazy one. Orlando, Florida, on October 14th, on Tuesday night, a woman was found dead under the monorail. It was believed that she had jumped at the Contemporary Resort in Disney on October 14th on Tuesday night, and they found her remains, I believe, the next morning. I think that's when they found her. In Houston, Texas, at 7:15 a.m. on October 15th in the Mason area north of I-10, a man unalived himself after shooting his ex-girlfriend, who is now in critical condition. It's another DV incident. In Oakland County, Michigan, in Southfield, Michigan, a 22-year-old woman from Ohio went to kill her mother in Southfield, Michigan, over a custody dispute. The 22-year-old drove all the way from Ohio to unalive her 45-year-old mother, Ada Mae Simmons. Another DV issue. I think it's Olds New, Florida. I can't really read my writing. I'm so sorry. A 88-year-old man died after being hit by a school bus while crossing the street. That was on Wednesday the 15th. I think that says Olds New. I think that's the right city. I'm so sorry I didn't write it very well. On October 15th, in Live Oak, Florida, a toddler of unknown age and gender was unalived by the mom and boyfriend. On the 15th, the baby died of abuse when it was seen in the hospital. They called because the baby was unresponsive, and they noted those telltale signs of petechial hemorrhages and all this other stuff. It's really disgusting. Another woman that has to have the boyfriend near the baby. Absolutely disgusting. The next thing, a 6-month-old baby boy, this was in the news, by the name of Nakai Pratt, whose father reported the baby missing last weekend, and he said that the baby was kidnapped after he was robbed by drug dealers. Turns out the father lied, and he's now in custody as well as the mother. The baby's remains were found behind the neighborhood, the building in Clayton County, Georgia, in the town of Riverdale. Another 6-month-old baby. He has a twin that is safe. I don't know what the status of the baby. I think the baby's in some ACS custody. And the name of the father, the monster, is Antonio Pierce. In South St. Louis, Missouri, a man dies in a fire in a house that was set to be auctioned off that same day on October 14th, 2025. The fire is under investigation for arson. In Las Vegas, Nevada, there was a family dispute, another DV incident. A woman was gunned down after an incident in the house. There were two men that are hospitalized. The woman's son and husband. I don't know who started the fight, but it's really under investigation. A lot of guns in the house, the apartment that where this occurred. In Galveston County, Texas, a man was attacked and by his dogs, and one of the dogs had to be shot because it wouldn't let go of the man's arm. A man's name who died was 45-year-old Jesus Castillo, and he was killed due to the blood loss from the dog just not letting go, and he was transferred to the hospital where he could not survive the injury. In Jackson County, Georgia, on October 13th, 2025, a family of 8 was killed when a semi-tractor trailer collided with their Dodge Caravan. There were 8 people that died. One of them was pregnant. The trucker was now being charged with the unaliving. The people on board were a man, his pregnant wife. They had a daughter with them, his wife's mother, and 4 siblings. Unknown ages and genders of the victims. On October 15th, Wednesday morning, San Antonio, Texas, 2 officers were shot trying to serve a warrant. They were able to shoot the person they were serving the warrant on, and he was unalived because of the how he wouldn't accept the warrant being served. In Port Huron, Michigan, a 30-year-old man was killed while he was pumping gas at a Marathon station. It was on October 13th. The woman is in custody that shot him because there was a road rage incident that happened a few blocks away from there, where she followed him and she went and she took revenge on whatever happened behind the wheel. A Wisconsin couple was found in a car with gunshot wounds. There were a man and a woman, 29-year-old Rachel Dumovich and 30-year-old Peter Dumovich. Their bodies were found on October 6, 2025, and I think Howard, Illinois. There was a DWI incident in Dallas, Texas on October 12th, Sunday. One man was hit while walking after there was some crazy thing that went down where people thought they heard shooting, and Jose Benitez was walking away from the incident, and this man by the name of John Alvarez, he was the man in the car that ran over Jose Benitez, that was running away from whatever he was running away from. It was found that Jose Benitez was drinking at several bars beforehand, and he was under the influence, and he is now in custody for not staying at the scene. If he had stayed at the scene, things might have been different for him. However, he was drinking. In Brooklyn, New York, and Coney Island, an 86-year-old man had a stroke behind the wheel. It was on October 15th, Wednesday. He got disoriented and put his car in reverse, and it backed into 3 pedestrians. However, the 89-year-old woman did not survive. Yesterday, in Bronx, New York, in the Mott Haven section of the Bronx on Alexander Avenue, a 27-year-old man was leaving his parole interview. He was just in prison, where he was gunned down after his appointment. This is another terrible case. In North Miami, a 1-year-old baby was found to be drowned in a bathtub. The silly idiot parents left the baby unattended for a very short amount of time, and they pulled the baby out. I don't know if it's a boy or a girl, and the first responders were unsuccessful in the reviving of the baby. They tried the CPR and it didn't work. Never leave your baby in a bathtub by themselves. Never take an eye off them for 1 second. In Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, a 56-year-old firefighter was unalived after a confrontation. His body was found on October 15th, 2025 at 4 a.m. His name was Antonio Rodriguez. The details of the incident are not known. The next thing that happened was in Columbus, Georgia, a theater teacher was found shot by her roommate. This was at I don't know what college this was. She was visiting a family in Indiana, and her college roommate said that she thought she was an intruder, and she shot her. So I guess these are professors that live at dorms in this particular college. I don't know what college is in Columbus, Georgia. In Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, another baby was unalived by the father. He said the baby fell and was unresponsive, and he did all this stuff. They brought the baby to the hospital, and they saw all this telltale signs of abuse: the head, the petechial, hemorrhages in the eyes. It's very sad. Another little baby had to die. There was another case of a woman named Tanji Davis. She was reported missing by her family on October 9th. And they started the search over the weekend, I believe on the 11th. And the son tracked her car down with the Starlink, and somehow the boyfriend was arrested. I don't know how they figured it out, but he was arrested, and he was brought the police to her body this week. I don't know the date that she was found. I don't know if I missed one of the other ones. Yeah, I think I did all of them, but it's been a very tragic week. Take care.